Okay, Mr. Paulson. Set.
Start the Board of Adjustments meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Norma Vasquez,
Present.
David Wetley,
Here.
Robert Paulson,
Present.
Megan Marshall,
Here.
and also we want to welcome Megan Marshall as our newest member to the board.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Has everybody reviewed the minutes from the previous meeting?
Yes.
Okay, have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved, 4-0.
Okay.
Okay. New business, case number 18-00.04, 102 Edgewater Drive.
Christopher Mills. I'm a principal planner with the Planning and Zoning Department. I have an email from the applicant requesting that this case be continued to the November 14th Board of Adjustment meeting.
Okay.
Is that the right date? November 14th? Okay, I guess, yeah, that's the right date. November 14th, 6:30 is the next scheduled Board of Adjustment meeting.
I
Okay.
move to grant a continuance as requested.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, this case will be
Approved 4-0.
continued to November 14th, 2018 at 6:30 PM or wherever it falls on the agenda within that time.
Jack, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are there any of these people here who, to speak on behalf of this?
Yes,
who
yes,
can't
they're
make
they're
November
all here to
14th?
speak on this.
Perhaps, can we grant them permission to speak tonight?
I would recommend against it.
Okay.
The applicant has an opportunity to make the presentation and then to respond to anything that anyone wishes to share, and so it should be heard at the same time.
Is the applicant present?
No, ma'am.
No, the applicant submitted a request for a continuance. Yeah. But, Mr. Chairman, the case has been continued. The applicant requested a continuance. The applicant was granted the continuance. The case was not going to be heard tonight, and so I would recommend that the board move to the next case.
Yes. Case number 18-00.03, 725 Grape Avenue.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Christopher Mills, Planning and Zoning. This item is a special exception request for a 768 square foot accessory structure. In this instance, the accessory structure is a detached garage. This board typically hears variance requests. Special exceptions are different than variances. I will explain what we have here as we go along. If you have any questions, I'll be able to answer them at the end.
Is the applicant here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The Land Development Code says that you cannot build an accessory structure that is larger than 800 square feet or larger than half of the air-conditioned portion of the house, the main structure on the lot, whichever is less, unless you get a special exception. The proposed structure is, in this case, again, is a detached garage, is 768 square feet, which is greater than 50% of the air-conditioned floor area of the main structure, the house. The subject site is 1.19 acres, or 52,000 square feet. The existing house and the proposed garage combined are 2,268 square feet. Now, I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you right now. Just bear with me. This is the subject site. It's approximately 1.19 acres, or approximately 52,000 square feet. This blue rectangle is the existing house. This red rectangle shows the approximate size and location of the proposed garage. Now, the Land Development Code says, pardon me, let me back up. The special exception is not a variance. Again, this board typically hears variances. This is a special exception. And a special exception is not a variance, and as it is anticipated by the Land Development Code. The Land Development Code says if you want to build an accessory structure larger than 800 square feet, you can, but you must secure a special exception. Again, if you want to build an accessory structure that's larger than half the size of the air-conditioned portion of your house, again, you can, but you must get a special exception. You must submit an application and have it reviewed and approved by this board. The special exception process gives us an opportunity to look at individual cases. 1,000 square foot shed might be appropriate in some locations. In some locations, it's probably not. And where a variance requires proof of hardship, the special exception looks more at how the proposed structure impacts the surrounding properties. So the subject site is located within an R1A zoning district. It's a single-family dwelling zoning district. And this district requires at a minimum that the site be 9,000 square feet. It has to be at least 9,000 square feet. The subject site is approximately 52,000 square feet. It's almost 6 times larger than what's required. The maximum lot coverage, the primary structure, the house, combined with any accessory structure, is allowed to cover 50% of the site, according to the zoning district, or 26,000 square feet. So the applicant can build a house or a combination of a house and an accessory structure that covers 50% of the lot by right, or 26,000 square feet. What is being proposed here is a house and garage that covers 2,268 square feet. I think that's somewhere around 4%, much less than the 50% maximum coverage. The point of this is this is a really big lot with a lot of open space. The lot can accommodate what has been proposed. So back to this slide. Accessory structures larger than 200 square feet must be set back 5 feet from the side property lines and the rear property lines. Again, this drawing is approximate, but the setback on the south side of the accessory structure, shown in red on this, is 5 feet. The setback on the east side and the north side is a lot larger than 5 feet. I didn't even measure it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt the staff. You might want to just suggest to those in the chamber that if they want to speak outside so that the commission can, the adjustment board can hear the presentation.
If the public would step out in the hallway to speak while we have the board meeting, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Continue.
Okay, thank you. So again, an accessory structure requires 5 feet of setback. We've got 5 feet of setback on the south side. On the east and north side, we've got a lot more than 5 feet. To the south here, wait, I'm sorry, let me go back. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of separation here from the proposed accessory structure and the residences on the north side and the residences on the east side. To the south is a non-residential agricultural use. That property contains greenhouses. So while the proposed structure is large enough to require a special exception, if you look at the size of the lot, the home that's relatively small compared to the lot, and the available open space on the lot, as well as the separation from the adjacent residences, staff feels impacts to the surrounding neighborhood will be negligible, and staff recommends approval of this request. The applicant and I are both here if you have any questions.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just for a moment, just to remind the board, and in particular Ms. Marshall, she's new to the board, the factors that the board is going to be considering with this request are on page 3 of the staff report, which you have page 304, under action for approval, they very clearly list the criteria under the Land Development Codes portion, the 6 criteria. These are 6 different criteria than the cases you're used to seeing in terms of variance. The criteria are a little bit different, and I believe the applicant has responded to each of those factors in their response, but those are the factors for you each to review as part of the case.
Okay. Anything further?
I'm here for any questions, so is the applicant.
Okay. We have discussion? Would the applicant like to speak, or?
If you'd like to ask me any questions, I'm sure I can.
Okay,
Excuse me.
How's everybody doing tonight?
good.
Good.
State your name and address, please.
Paul T. Meekins, 725 Grape Ave,
Okay.
St. Cloud.
Anybody got any questions?
I don't.
Okay.
Probably the only thing that I would add to this whole thing, everybody's been very helpful. You know, it's been a little bit of a long process, but I would just like to know, you know, if I want to build a little garage out back. That's why I bought the property years ago. And it was county then, and I could build whatever I wanted back there, especially with what's on the right side of me. And so I bought it, and then I was annexed into the city, and I came back here from Montana because I liked it. And I don't think it's too big of a deal for a guy to have a little garage in his backyard when I have a lot that's this size, you know. Most of the garages on my street are way bigger than that. And if I could afford it, I'd probably build one half, you know, as big as I could get it to put old tractors or trucks or whatever I want to. But I keep my property up really good. I don't pile junk around, or I'm very considerate, I think you would say, to my neighbors around me. I don't give them an eyesore to look at. So other than that, I think everybody for these type situations in the future, and I'm sure it's in the works or it will be, you know, you're going to have to look at the size of the lots for the size that the people are asking for. You know, in other words, you can't have the same standards for a 50 by 75 lot as you would, you know, an acre or 5 acres or whatever. But I'm sure everybody here is smart enough to know that, and everything will work out in time. But if you would okay it, that'd be great with me. That's all I'm asking for. Simple as that.
Anyone from the public wish to comment? No? No further discussion? We'll make a motion to approve?
First off, I'd like to thank the staff for doing a really good job in the presentation. Nice work.
Me too.
And then I would subsequently like to provide a motion for approval for Mr. Meekins' application, having, I feel, duly met the 6 required criteria.
And second.
All in favor, approving the variance based on the 6 criteria?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in
Special
favor?
exception
Approved.
is
4-0.
granted 4-0. It's a special exception, yes. So it's been approved 4-0. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your new garage.
There might be one question I would have, but I'm sure I could ask. Is there any time, I don't have a time limit, like I have to have it up or anything. I mean, is this, how long is this good for?
I don't,
I'm not,
staff can get you that information. I know there's a time on
Building
it.
permits, I'll
It's
tell you.
different from the variance, I'm sure, though.
Anybody from, have any other further questions? Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Somebody's got to make a motion, right?
Yeah.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Okay. Wow, very nice, very nice.
So,